me in the background.
Hmm.
That computer. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. It's been a while. How are you? I am fine. This is Two T's. This is Two T's in a Pod. And I'm Tony.
And I'm Tralana.
And we drinking Diet Coke and
We are not.
lemonade.
Oh, I'm drinking lemonade.
Yes.
I do not drink soda.
Yes, there are certain guidelines. So we are drinking regular drinks.
Well, no, I was just getting at the fact that I don't drink soda.
Right.
So
Yeah.
when you said we are drinking Diet Coke, I was like, no.
Well, we,
Tralana
as in the
doesn't.
royal we, like we are both drinking something else. Something. Yeah. So anyway, welcome back. We took another week off. More like we just didn't really have time last week to put one out, and I was in a really bad way with my back and things. But we're back. We're here.
Ta-da!
Yay! This is our after dark. This is the after dark. I mean, generally we do record these after dark, but this is the after dark. It is late.
I think I'm gonna have to bring back the hashtag save Tralana.
Please.
Because it's been a minute and I still need help. Just saying.
So what were we going to talk about? I already forgot. Didn't we not? We were supposed to talk about something last time, but it was kind of short and condensed. We didn't get to talk about some things.
Well, last time we kind of did a recap because it had been a month, so we were recapping like how Christmas went and the whole Southwest fiasco. We did not discuss How I Met Your Mother, or there was something else to do with that we didn't discuss, but I don't remember what it was. And then the thing that we had kind of talking about was like the whole Miley Cyrus relationships shenanigans.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, like any one of those things, I guess we could go off tangent on.
So over the holidays, my mother and stepfather, who moved to Texas, just like a lot of people did, they just fucking picked up and were like, let's go to Texas. Whatever. So, I mean, come on. Like most people who were. Do you remember that whole surge? What?
No.
That was a whole surge. Like people were like, oh, the conservative movement to Texas.
That must have been an Illinois thing. I don't know.
Well, it was across the country. A lot of people were like, we're moving to Texas because.
Well, nobody from Pennsylvania.
Well, no, because Texas is the next closest thing to fucking. There's Trump. I still pass trucks that say Trump 2024 and all that shit in Pennsylvania. So that's a very conservative Republican
hence
area.
I know nothing about what you're talking about.
Right. Well, a lot of people in Illinois to escape. Well, Illinois has.
Oh, I don't know why, but that just
Great.
reminded
Never
me.
mind. Go ahead.
No, that just reminded me of what the other thing was about. Thanksgiving, Christmas / New Year's that we were going to talk about was your struggles finding liquor
Oh
for
my
New
God.
Year's in Pennsylvania.
Listen.
Anyways, no. Finish your whole.
Okay.
Because that was, soup entertaining. So
Yeah.
go ahead.
So Texas is a lot of people fled Illinois within the past a few years. Like there's just been a mass exodus out of Illinois. Taxes, corruption. Not that like there isn't corruption everywhere else, but everything's so fucking expensive. Everything's so just shit in Illinois. And the closer you are to the city of Chicago, the worse off it is. But my family, my mother and my stepfather, were part of that movement. They're like, we're going to Texas. Oh, and also my younger sister. And they just all went. And although my younger sister kind of had a reason because her that soon to be husband, now husband, got a job at a police department down there. So hey, man, you get a job, you move for work. I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But my parents just were like, Nope. Fuck everybody in Illinois. Fuck all my family in Illinois. We're going to Texas. Whatever. Point is, it was nice. They came in, which was great, and they got to meet, Tralana and Joseph,
Mhm.
which was fun.
It's just crazy because, like you brought up your younger sister, like, I still haven't met her, so,
You
like,
won't meet her.
that's fine. I'm just saying,
It's not
like,
that I want you to meet her, but it's at the same time it's never going to fucking happen because they don't come up here. They don't. The only time my younger sister comes up here is she'll come up here and won't tell anybody, and she'll hang out with like her friends. And then she'll send me a call on Sunday 2 hours before she's got to leave. Be like, hey, I'm in town. It's like, cool, but that's fine. She's much younger than I am. So her priority is I gotta get back to see my girlfriends and my friends. I'm 27 years old or whatever. So, so that's her priority. That's fine.
no, I was just saying from, like, a relationship standpoint, like, I'm sure it sounds crazy to people that, like, follow our story and listen to our podcast that, like, I only just over Christmas met your mom and stepdad, have never met your younger sister and things like that, like, I'm sure, like, that's not traditional, so, like, I mean, because we also eloped, so, like, it's not like we had, like, a big wedding where they would have been invited to come, and at least I would have met them there or that kind of thing, like, that's what I'm saying, like,
You think they would have flown in from Texas to come to our
I have
wedding?
no idea what your family would have done. I'm just stating that there was no prior reason
Maybe they would have. I don't know. I doubt it though.
or whatever that we would have all been together for me to meet them. That's what I was stating. So, like,
Well,
like that's not traditional. Like most people have met the other person's like full family or whatever, or like primary family, like not maybe like cousins and whatever. But yeah.
fuck them.
Anyways,
Um,
so on to
but
the
but it was fun. It was good to meet.
yeah.
Everything was civil, and
Your sister
I don't
held a
get a.
nice little
Should my sister held a nice little
family
taco
gathering. Yeah,
party or whatever you want to call it.
that just sounds weird. Taco
Yeah, it
party,
does. So slightly sexual.
right?
But there was no tacos that evening. I mean, there were, but
Well, yeah.
yeah, I didn't see my sister's taco. So
Let's keep it that way.
it's disgusting. Actually, now I'm nauseous. But that was fun. Everybody was civil. I tend, civility around family gatherings is uh um few and far between. So it was good, and a lot of times it's my fault because I have a very short span with people. Um, Now it's more so my sister than me, but as in she has a short span. Whatever. Point is, it was fun, and nobody made fools out of themselves in front of you, and made any terrible impressions or anything. I don't think so, anyways. Um, my sister was very interested, be like, "Oh, how did she look? What did she think?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, she likes everybody. It's fine. Like, there's no issues."
Yeah.
So that was great. That was
No, I
fun.
told you. Like the only thing was like your mom kissed my cheek, and I was like, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, she's
But I'm not. So for anybody that doesn't know me personally, like
she
I
hates to be
will.
touched.
Yeah, I don't like to be touched.
I
So
barely can touch her.
that's a lie. I like when so much like everything, I only like it when I like it. So people, if I feel comfortable around them, I'm just being
I only
honest.
like it when I like it. Yeah, I only
Right.
like it when I like it too.
Right. So no,
But isn't that everybody?
no, because you're fake. Like
So
you will
you
fake
like it when you don't like it?
No, like you fake being friendly with people. I don't do that. Like
Oh, I don't fake being friendly with anybody.
that's a lie.
What are you talking about? I'm
You're
fake
very
friendly.
you're very outgoing and you will put on like a fake show if you need to. I don't do
Well, this
that.
is different. No. If there's something in it for me.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm just saying like
I'm not just hugging people at the checkout line. Like, I can't stand making chit chat with people. Like, I hate it when people talk to me. I have a very like
Right, but you
fucking
put up
talkable
but you put
face.
up with it. Like,
Well,
so
sure, I put up with it,
right, so
but
I don't. Like, I'll just, like, look at you and, like, whatever. And so, like, when I meet people for the first however many times it takes for me to be comfortable around you, I will be silent unless you give me some kind of, like, good vibe, and then if I get
good
a
vibrations.
exactly, then I'll be like,
Is that Marky Mark?
"You're cool." I don't know. Like, I would know.
Yeah, I know. We've already established.
Then I'll be like, "You're cool," and I'll talk to you.
You're cool.
But
Fuck
until
you. Fuck you. You're cool.
exactly. It's just like that. And so until that has been established, I don't talk in front of people that I don't know or I'm not comfortable with. So I was very silent the whole evening, but that's just because I didn't know anyone. And so no big deal to me because, like, that's par for the course because I'm just a watcher. Like, I watch everyone, I pick up on their vibes, like all the things. And then because it was your family, like, I'll do the obligatory hugs and whatever. But I wasn't expecting the kiss on the cheek. Like, that threw me, and I was like, whoa. So, but that's just because I'm not like with like that. Like with you, like I'm very touchy. I obviously want to touch you. I want to hug you, all the things. But like that, if it's not a situation like that, then it throws me off when there's extra touching that I wasn't expecting. That's all.
Okay. Well, there was extra touching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great.
And then for New Year's, you came out to me and we took a nap, and it was like what, like 9 o'clock or something on New Year's. And we needed to procure alcohol to drink at my
Oh yeah.
house.
Listen, I don't get it. Like it was like I was in a fucking different universe because out here, out here, or at least in the Midwest,
Sure.
that's my main source of reference. I could go
Anywhere.
to Walmart. I can go to Jewel, which is a grocery store chain out here. I could go to fucking Walgreens, CVS. I could go anywhere. Like I could probably go to Toys R Us. Like like you could
Mm.
go anywhere. They're out of business, but
I mean, they're
R.I.P.
in Macy's or whatever.
So you could go a gas station anywhere at any time and get alcohol. Like there's never a shortage. Liquor stores, everything. There's a liquor store every 100 feet. Like you could get booze whenever you want. I don't drink beer. Beer sucks. If you like beer, you're a liar. I don't believe it. I don't believe anybody likes beer. I think people grew up on beer and they drink beer because it's cheap and you could drink 24 of them and get fucking ripped, and that's fine. But don't lie to me and say, oh, I love the taste of beer. Fuck you, you're a liar. Because beer tastes like piss. All beer. You can't put a beer in front of me unless it's mixed with something else. Because I've had some weird beer mixed with barrel aged whiskey stuff. Like I had a Jameson whiskey beer thing once. And I was like, this is okay. And like told you, there's that one that's called, I think, Dragon's Milk or something, where it basically tastes like chocolate milk, but it's technically a lager or something. I don't fucking know because I don't drink beer. But beer sucks. So we're out and about. We woke up a little late. Um, trying to find little booze, have a couple cocktails between the two of us, watch the shitty fucking New Year's show that's on. It was so bad. It was terrible. All of them. Like fucking bring Dick Clark back from the dead. Clone Dick Clark and bring him back to do the New Year's show. Because without Dick Clark, that shit fucking sucks. Ryan Seacrest sucks. Ryan Seacrest is like this little annoying midget man who is a corporate suit. I didn't like him on American Idol. He's got no ties to the music industry other than American Idol. Dick Clark, fucking American Bandstand. Like, anyway, sorry. Back to the point. But keep that in mind. Fuck Ryan Seacrest. So we were traveling to find liquor. You can't get liquor in Pennsylvania. Like after what?
So,
4 p.m. or something? Like every place was
no.
closed.
Yes. But okay, so it was New Year's Eve. And here's the thing. So Pennsylvania used to not have alcohol
It used to be dry.
anywhere. Well, no.
Well, some days used to be dry. It used to be dry on Sundays.
I don't if that's the case, that was pre me turning 21. However, the problem was you could only go to state stores to get your alcohol of any kind. And
Like the
now
state has to vet these stores.
it's
When you
like
use this
a
term
liquor
state store, I don't know what state store means.
it's like the liquor store.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
why is
know,
it called a
husband, because that's
state
the only
store?
because that's the only place that could sell it. I honestly don't know.
Does
You'd
the
have to like
state
look it
have
up.
to like give you a
Approve it.
license or well, everybody
I was gonna say
they do
like
that here too,
yeah, they
but I'm
probably
just
have a
saying
liquor
like
license, but
there must be some sort of huge oversight
I don't really know.
for
But
such a you'd think there'd be booze everywhere.
but there's not. And so just I don't know exactly how long ago because I don't drink beer either, so it makes no difference to me. But now you can get beer and wine at certain places during certain times. So like basically like if the bar is closed, so is your option to get any kind of alcohol at all. But like you can now go into convenience stores, which is another big difference that we've, noted between here and there is the gas stations, convenience
Yeah,
stores,
see,
whatever.
that's another thing. Hold on. Look at the point. This is a good point that you just made.
Yeah.
So there are drawbacks, but then there are benefits. Drawback: you can't get booze, real booze.
Right.
You can get beer
Or wine.
or wine. Fuck that. I want bourbon, whiskey, scotch, anything. But you can't get that. But every gas station that I've come across has a full kitchen.
Yeah.
Like you could just order from a menu. You get a burger, you get fucking chicken tent, you get food, real food, 24 hours a day. There is never a time in Pennsylvania where if you're hungry, you can't get a meal. And that's great because Lord knows sometimes I'll be kicking back at home and I'll be like, you know what? Because COVID fucked us all.
And
Took
now
away all the
everything's not
24 hours.
24 hours.
Nothing's
Yes.
24 hours anymore because people don't want to go back to work.
But gas stations are.
But Pennsylvania gas stations, you go in there at 3 in the morning, get a double bacon cheeseburger. You
Or
don't
you
even
can go to Royal Farms and get some banging
Royal
ass
Farms and get some
fried
ass
chicken.
chicken, man. And it's fucking crazy and it's awesome. But
But we also have, which you said you never witnessed, the whole adult slushy situation.
yeah, that's another big thing over there. Adult slushies.
Yeah.
I've clearly I've
Well,
had
also 'cause you can-
slushies, but
because you buy them and then you drive home with them, which I think is wild because so like it'll be a plastic cup like a slushy. And then they slap a lid on it and they put a sticker over the
yeah,
straw
but well, the
hole.
sticker is there. You can't
You would take
peel
the lid off.
You can't peel the sticker
You could
away.
just take the lid
You can't
off.
take the lid off and drink it while you're driving and put it back on.
You could, and you could be like, I don't know, man. They didn't fill my slushy up the whole way.
Yeah. No, I know that you totally
Like,
could. It's a
yeah.
bullshit. See, when did they institute that, by the way?
I don't. Whenever
COVID.
they probably. Yeah, well, I honestly don't know.
COVID loosened regulations on the delivery and sale of alcohol because this is the same thing we talked about with movie theaters and selling
Yeah.
their concessions to stay alive. A lot of liquor stores, a lot of places were like, they petitioned. They're like, we need to. So now, I don't know if you still can now, but during COVID was the only time in Illinois, don't know about Pennsylvania, but in Illinois, you could order booze and have it delivered to you.
No, because that was a huge thing. So so we have the state
but
stores
not
or whatever.
cigarettes, only booze.
We have the state stores or whatever you want to call them, and so,
This is real cloudy. I don't know what's going on in this cup.
I don't know. Anyways, and so it became like a whole thing because when COVID shut everything down, nobody could get liquor because the state stores closed because the state was like
Right.
shut down. So like it became like a huge huge thing that you couldn't get any liquor. And so when they finally opened back up, it was like a pre-sale situation, and it was probably bigger than the Taylor Swift situation for tickets
Pre-sale.
because you had to you had to get in to get your booze, whatever, because they weren't letting so many customers in and all the things.
Listen, America. There are 3 things you should never take away from society, communities, especially when we're talking about during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Drugs, alcohol, and fast food. That's it. We need comforts. These are the things you can't take away from us. This is what our country was founded on. McDonald's, chicken nuggets, cheap whiskey,
Right.
and Oxycontin.
So anywho, but yeah, so
USA.
So speaking of your little,
Yeah.
the other thing that's a funny difference between here and there is the fact that I can walk in and get a gun in 5 seconds.
Fuck. Yeah.
And you have to go through this whole process here.
I had to go through a process to get my FOID card, which is a firearm owner's identification, and that is basically it looks like a driver's license. So I got a petition for that, not petition, but I have to
Apply.
apply. I have to take pictures of myself, and I have to send it in to the state, and then they have to run their background checks and do that and give me a card. Now that I have that card, huh?
They didn't take a picture of you themselves.
Well, this was during COVID.
Oh.
So I had to take pictures and send them in to prove my identification. I had to send them my driver's license and take pictures of myself to prove it's me.
Gotcha.
So I had to go through all that rigmarole. Then there was a waiting list because, once the shit hits the fan, everybody wants a gun. I had wanted to do it, but I was also in that I was in that group. I was worried hey man, shit's gonna hit the fan. Toilet paper's at $78 a sheet. Pretty soon, I got a lot of nice shit in here. All it takes is somebody. I was starting to get paranoid attacks that people were gonna kick down the door and start stealing my shit. So I was like, I need a fucking gun. I need one. Sorry, USA. I am pro guns, not pro killing innocent people, but I'm pro guns. So I did the FOID card, right? Got my FOID card. Now I can walk into a gun store in Illinois. I can buy a gun, but there's still the waiting period in Illinois. So you
how long?
I think it's 3 days or something. So it's because of the fact they don't want you to oh, I just got laid off at work. Go to a gun store, buy a gun the same day, go to work and kill people. They make you wait. As far as I know. Might have changed, but I don't think it has. So you go to a gun store. I can go to a gun store. I can pick out a gun. I can pay for it. I can do it, but I can't pick it up for a few days. Pennsylvania? You just need a pencil.
I mean, you need your driver's license.
You literally you need your driver's license, and you need to know your ABCs.
You don't need to know your ABCs.
You just need to go in and be like, yeah, here's my driver's license. Well, what do you want, sir?
Yeah.
Pick a gun.
They just run your background check while you're paying.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They just run your background check. So
their background check involves Googling my name and seeing if I'm in the papers.
First of all, Pennsylvania is an open carry state. So I have a concealed carry permit, but I don't have to. My concealed carry permit just means I'm allowed to carry concealed and you don't have to be able to see my gun. However, if I didn't renew it, then I just have to carry it on my hip or somewhere that you can see it. But that either way, I don't have to have anything to have my gun on me at all times.
Look, it looks like a little sperm.
That's weird. Anyways, so when I bought my gun, just to tell you how shady it was, so this is, great. So when I bought my gun, it was okay. So when I got it, anyways, I went to someone's house and they ran their business out of their house, and they had,
I do support local business.
Right, I was supporting local business, and so I went there and I had told the guy in advance, he was like, "What gun do you want?" I told him what I wanted. He was like, "Got you. I'll order it in." whatever. So when I went, I filled out the paper. While I was filling out the paper with all of my pertinent information, he was running my background check on the computer with my ID. And by the time we were both done, I paid the man and I left with my gun. The end. Like there is no waiting period.
Fucking
There is, as long as the
bananas.
computer system isn't down,
He could have
it
been running.
takes
He could have literally been running it out of the back of his fucking trunk. Like,
sure. Like he gave me all the paperwork I needed. I gave him his money. I walked away with my gun and some ammo, and that was the end of the transaction. So, like, and I mean, we have gun shows all the time in Pennsylvania. So you just go to the gun show, you pick out what you want. The same process. You fill out the form, they run your ID, and you exchange the money, and you walk away with whatever you want.
you know, they in all the gun, a lot of people who are against the ownership of guns
Mhm.
always point to that whole gun show. Like, oh, you can go to a gun show, and I'm like, we're gonna have to go to a gun show.
You want to see what it's like?
I would like to see what it's like.
Okay, I'll look and see when the
I would
next one
like to
is.
see because if what you're saying is true, and again, I'm not against people having guns. I'm not.
Mhm.
I think everybody should have a gun. Well, everybody of sound mind who
Mhm.
is physically and mentally capable of having one, I think should. But if you're telling me that all I need is a driver's license and I can go to a Pennsylvania gun show and walk out of there with a gun, I kind of think that's a problem.
Can you pause it though?
I actually was going to say we're going to take a quick break. I mean, to them it won't be a break, but
Yeah.
to us it will be because I forgot to plug this in.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, let's take a quick little break. We'll be right back, and we're back.
So I don't know how gun shows would work in terms of like okay, it's kind of like the fireworks situation like that I talked about. I've never taken somebody from out of state to like purchase a gun at a gun show, so like we could go and like check it out and see what the parameters are. But I know for sure like for fireworks, and I don't know how it would work with you cuz you're from Illinois, so that's far away and like blah blah blah. But in Pennsylvania, like because like most fireworks are legal there, you go in and you show your ID and then they let you buy whatever you want. And if it's not legal for your state, they'll tell you like you can't buy, certain things. So I don't know gun wise if
Oh, they
that would
probably won't
be
let me.
that's what I was going to say.
They
Like I don't
probably won't
know
let me. They probably won't let me buy one in Pennsylvania anyways.
why
Because I think Illinois is very weird with
bringing stuff
states,
back.
yeah, states that you can buy firearms in.
Well, we should look into it because I mean, no matter what, we should go to a gun show just so you can see what
Well,
I'm
no
talking
matter
about.
what, you can buy my guns for me. So,
Well, and that too.
I mean, we would never do that.
I would transfer them to you legally.
Maybe.
Also, we're married, so as long as they're in my household, they're my guns.
That's right. Yes, I'll just buy a bunch of guns and leave them at your house.
Yeah. Um. Anyways, so well, this I kind of have two residences if you really think about it, but
Not to the IRS, we don't.
well, no. I mean, like I have a permanent residence and a temporary residence. This is my temporary residence, and that's my permanent residence, and the same for you. This is your permanent residence, and that's your temporary residence. So, anyways, but yeah. So I don't. I mean, like I don't know how that would work out, but we should check it out just to
Love to check
see.
it out. I want to see a gun show.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't even know what a gun show is.
Have you ever been to a car show?
I've been to a few. I mean, they have the big one at the McCormick Center that we went to. We didn't go to the. We went to the Comic Con.
Mhm.
That's at that building. That's where they have the auto show.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that auto show is like, but a gun
They,
show is the same thing where you just walk around and there's guns everywhere and you buy
yeah.
what you
Well,
want.
the auto show is like all the concept cars and stuff, like all of
You don't have like
the beta or
what about
alpha
like hot
models.
rods and stuff? Like you don't have like a hot rod show where
No,
you can go see all the cool like antique cars?
no, that's in Volo, which is way up north.
Mm.
Yeah, there is one in Volo, Illinois. I think it's in Illinois, but
I'll take you to all the things.
I've never been to one of those, like an antique car
Wanna see
show.
some?
An antique car show?
Like the hot rods, yeah.
Uh, I mean the cars really don't interest me that much, but I mean I like seeing cool cars. But if you ask me between the two, I would rather go to the McCormick place and see like the crazy, you know, ideas, like the concept cars that they have built. Like I remember the one year that I went to the car show. God, this was forever. I was a little kid because my stepdad, he worked on the McCormick building as a general contractor. I don't know, whatever he did or what company he worked for. And his name is actually on this big granite slab of people who were responsible for working there. So, one year we went there when I was very, very young, and it was only a few years after they built the place.
Mhm.
And there was like this like V12 Cadillac, crazy supercar that was there, and the Mustang, like the version of the Mustang that when they changed the body style in like what 2004 maybe ish. They changed it to the body style that it kind of looks like today, where it was. But before that, it was at that weird rounded. Anyway, not to go off on a tangent, but I got to see the concept for it. Like 5 years before the car came out, kind of thing.
That's cool.
So, anyways, I like that kind of stuff. I like hot rods. I like classic cars. I like older cars. I would go see a car show, but I wouldn't like pretend like I'm some sort of like, fucking gearhead. Like, ooh,
Mhm.
is that a fuel injected
Well,
fucking.
I will look and see when the next gun show is, and we will go. And then you can check out how random it is.
Yeah, I just admit I envision the flea market that we go to, but with guns.
That's what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm on point then, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of just a bunch of people with picnic tables with like, yeah, this was like a garage sale. Like, yeah, this is a Glock that we just don't use. You want to buy it? It's only $250 instead of $600 that you'd pay brand new retail.
I mean, I want to say all the guns are new. It's just
Oh no, you don't get like old discount guns.
don't know. I've honestly not shopped at a gun show, but yeah, we'll go
So
and
do they
we'll.
are they just a regular occurrence, or is it like 2 times a year there's a gun show?
I want to say it's like 2 times a year there's a gun show,
Yeah.
but I'll have to look it up because like I don't honestly like so everything happens at the York Fairgrounds. Like that's the car show's there, the gun show's there, everything's there. So I would have to like look and see. Like I don't really pay attention to like what their schedule is because I don't usually go to any of the
Yeah,
things.
we thought the toy show would be there.
Yeah, but it
That's what
wasn't.
you said, and then it wasn't there.
No, it was like in Reading or something. But yeah, but no, I know for a fact that there is a gun show that comes to the fairgrounds and whatever. But yeah, so I will look and we will go.
I'll
It'll be
go
a
to a
thing.
gun show.
Yeah. And then we can report back on our findings of what the gun show is really like. But I'm pretty sure that you're correct that it's like a flea market, but I do think that all the guns are new, not used. But I think it's just like booth after booth after booth of like people selling various kinds of guns.
But if they're all new,
Mhm.
then wouldn't they all just be the same price?
I mean, I think it's kind of like going to the outlet. Like, so like this person has like the
This
outlet
guy's got
Sig
Smith and
Sauer.
Wesson.
Yeah.
This guy's got Remingtons. This guy's got.
Right.
So it's not like
But it's like
I'm
the
gonna
out
see a P25. I don't even know if that's the right term of the gun. Which one do you have?
the P365.
P3. Is that what you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 hour. Yeah.
Like, is everyone gonna have that same gun and it's the
I
same
don't think
price? Like,
so.
what's the
I
point
mean, we'll
then?
see. We will find out.
Okay.
But I think the way that I envision it is that everybody has like their thing, their niche.
Hmm.
Like this guy, and it could just be like this guy has handguns, this guy has rifles, this guy has shotguns. I don't know. Like, but or it can be each person just has their stuff that they sell. Because like I said, like the person that I went to their house, they could acquire any gun that you wanted to purchase to sell to you. So like it might just be like that they're like um that they're his face that they're that's just what they happen to have on hand at the time to sell, and they're gonna sell it to you at a discounted rate. I don't know. We'll find out.
Interesting. I'm interested to find out.
All I know is I could walk out with as
Is
many
it
guns
just?
as I want.
Is it really? There's no limit. You can go there and I can bring 10 grand and buy fucking 20 guns.
As far as I know.
Interesting. I think
Let's
there's a
find out.
limit in Illinois.
We should Google it. I honestly don't know if there's a limit in Pennsylvania to.
I am going to Google it real quick.
I feel
For
like
Illinois, I feel like there is a. Is there
I
a
feel like the only
limit
thing there's a limit
on
on is how
how
much
I'm going to be
ammo
put on a
per.
list now on how
Yes,
many guns you can buy
I
in
want to say
Illinois?
there might be a limit for ammo, but not for the guns. I don't know.
Is it possible?
I've never needed to like acquire multiple at a time.
Federal law does not limit the number of guns a person may buy in
There you
any
go.
given time period. So it's federal.
Does ammo?
Does
Is ammo limited? 'Cause I want to say there might be a limit on ammo.
maybe
That might have been a COVID thing though, because I was
because
trying
there was a
to.
shortage.
Yeah, and I was trying to acquire more ammo during COVID, and I had to like I still got what I wanted, but I had to like shop around a little bit to find who had it in stock.
There is no federal limit on the amount of ammunition a consumer can buy. So, but I do know because you're right. I actually knew a guy when all this shit was going right before everything got shut down.
Mhm.
There was a guy who was a bar back at a bar that I used to go to, and his primary job was working at a range slash gun place.
Mhm.
And I had a conversation with him because I was in the process of getting my FOID at that time. And he said, if you need ammo, come to me. He's like, I'll get you ammo.
Mm.
He's like, I'll get it before anybody else. I'll save it for you. And I was like, thanks, man.
There you go.
And I never needed it. But I remember it wasn't, I don't think there was a limit imposed. I
There's
just
just a
think there was
shortage.
just such a shortage
Yeah, it was
of
hard to
like
find.
9 mil and 45 maybe was well, whatever.
I don't know. I didn't need it.
So yeah, gun show.
Yep.
But we'll do it, and then we'll report back, and then I will again. I am
So you would have
pro
an issue.
guns.
You would have an issue if I could walk in there with 10 grand and walk out with as many guns and as much ammo as I want.
No, I don't
Because
see.
I mean,
I personally walk a very fine line between centrist and conservative,
mhm,
and there are certain things that when it comes to guns, there are certain things that I am all for,
mhm.
and there are certain things that I'm kind of like,
Well,
maybe that's not a great idea.
so because you had mentioned earlier about like people with sound mind and whatever, and the only thing that I can say to that is the problem with that is I could go today and buy all the guns that I want and I'm of sound mind and all the things. But there's nothing to say that something couldn't trigger me at some later date and time, and I already have all of those things. So like yes, that you're in theory your proposition stops somebody from snapping and your example from earlier that they got fired from their job, they snapped, they want to go and buy guns and ammunitions and then go back and shoot up their workplace. Yeah, it like delays and gives them time to like calm down and process what it is that they really think they're going to do and whatever. However, if they're already a gun owner and they snap for whatever the reasons may be, there is nothing that stops them.
No, but
So like that's the
but
flaw in your system.
the I mean, I don't think that it's a flaw in this. I mean, again, I don't know if I necessarily agree with a waiting period.
Mhm.
I think if you go in and pass your background check, you have your FOID, you have all those things. I
I
should
think
be
it's
able,
crazy that you have to have a FOID in
yeah,
advance.
yeah, I know. I think you should be able to just go in, buy a gun, and leave.
Mhm.
But I do understand the you might not be able to prevent a future shooting.
Mhm.
Nobody can prevent that except for the people involved. So if somebody is mentally unstable, or well, currently not mentally unstable,
Mhm.
okay, they get their guns, whatever, but then something happens in the future, well, no, there's nothing that you could ever do. There's no background check, there's no test, there's nothing that would ever prevent that.
Mhm.
But by imposing a 3-day wait, I do understand that that does probably alleviate at least a few instances of somebody potentially doing something like that. And if you prevent one, I mean, I don't know if there's any hard evidence that supports that it has or hasn't, but even if it does prevent one mass shooting, and that's one less mass shooting of all out of all of them, then it's probably worth it.
I think a lot of
But
I think a lot of that stuff is a lot more premeditated than people want to believe. So, like, I think people genuinely think that someone like, one thing happens and the person snaps, like but I think that, like, with suicide, like, I learned when getting my master's degree and all the things that, like, it's more of a staircase situation where, like, the person starts out and they're like, "Oh, I wanna kill myself," but they don't have a plan or anything like that. It's just a thing that they say because something happened and they didn't know how to cope with it, they didn't know how to deal with it, so it's just a thing that they said. So that's like a step. And then the next time, they up the ante and they're like, "I wanna kill myself," and they start to think of, like, a plan, and then, like, it keeps developing until the final step is, like and they go through all the plan, like, they get like, if say it's a gun, because we're talking about guns. Like, they get the gun, they put it in their mouth, they've cocked it, all the things, they keep getting further and further in this process. And then it gets to the point where finally, now they've done all of those things. Now they put it in and they actually pull the trigger this time. A lot of times it isn't just an impulse like, I'm gonna kill myself. They grab the gun and they do it. It's a work in progress. They've tried all these things. They've, loaded the gun, they've put it in their mouth, they've done all these things, and then they do it. So at any point in that staircase, something could intervene or someone could intervene. And I think that a lot of mass shootings are like that where if the kid is getting bullied at school and whatever and they talk about like one adult, making a connection with that kid can make a difference. Like things that we think are seemingly small can have a profound impact. And I think that's anywhere along the way with a lot of different things. But so I don't think that it's as impulsive as people think. I think there's always with everyone a lot of things that are going on in the
well,
background that
they
they're weighing
always
out in advance. So I think if I lived in a state like this, and if like I was going to become, one of those people, I think I would know what the rules are. Oh, you have to apply and wait your 3 days. So that would be built into my plan. Like it wouldn't like
I think if
I don't
you're
think that it changes anything.
I think if you're talking about the cases of, again, it's tough subject, but if we're talking about mass shootings from a so there's different levels. There's
Mhm.
so this country in particular, within the last 5 to 10 years, there's been a big spotlight on school shootings. I think
Sure.
we've even discussed it on this podcast.
Yeah, like a while ago.
And I I completely 100% agree that generally speaking, there are there is a trail of warning signs.
Mhm.
Even if you go all the way back to Columbine,
Mhm.
kids playing Doom, and they you know that, right?
What?
The Columbine kids played Doom, but they changed the game files to take pictures of their classmates and put them on the demons and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, kind of a warning sign. Like, but when you look at it as a singular moment, it's just a bunch of kids who don't like their classmates. They do something silly with each other, but it is part of a larger string
Mhm.
of warning signs. And the kids are dressing a little weird. The kids are being more secluded, making a little bit more trouble, making weird pictures in yearbook stuff. until finally the day happens where they come and they shoot everybody,
Right.
right? So yes, I think that in instances like that, there is a warning. There's breadcrumbs, right? There's
Yeah.
things that people probably should see, but people don't look at the big picture. That's the problem. Problem is most people don't look at the big picture. Actually, most people don't give a shit. That's number one.
Yeah.
Okay. And second to that is people don't look at the big picture. So everybody looks at these slices of individual moments
Mhm.
and judges each moment on its own merit, and then something happens and then the investigation goes, then we hear about it on the news, and then everybody throws up their hands and go, well, how did we not know? Like, look at all of this. The police didn't do their job. The parents didn't do their job, and whatever. We need gun control. We need guns out of the hand. And it's like every situation or every shooting in that situation, like, pretty much could have been avoided,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
100% agree. But I still think, and maybe this is now when we exit the realm of children
Mhm.
and we exit like into more adulthood,
Mhm.
I think then you start seeing more instances of potential spontaneity with
Mhm.
because they can't deal with whatever happened, right? My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm gonna go over there and shoot her in the face,
Mhm.
right? I'm gonna buy a gun, I'm gonna go to her house, I'm gonna shoot her. Like in some situations, I don't think there necessarily is a lead up. I think it is a impulsive, I'm just gonna go and fucking do this. Like everything was great up until today, and then I found out she was fucking my best friend. Well, they're dead.
I
And
disagree.
then I think it exists. I think
Mm.
situations like that
I'm
do
sure
exist.
I'm sure just like everything, there are outliers, but I think a lot of situations, the writing is on the wall. And like in abusive relationships, the most dangerous time is when someone leaves. So, like, that is the highest rate for when someone's going to kill their family or their girlfriend or their wife or whatever it is.
Let's flip it.
Okay, what are you flipping?
Woman and her husband.
Hmm.
Well, actually, this is a little bit morbid. Fuck it. So, woman and her husband.
Hmm.
She is abused, beaten, whatever. Can't get out.
Hmm.
I mean, I kind of think she should be able to go buy a gun and not wait 3 days. I think she should be able to go buy a gun and shoot him.
Well, hopefully not have to shoot him, but yes, to defend herself.
Right. So now we've got weird outliers of like, what if, what if, like, what if people really were banging on this door for my toilet paper, right? And I was like, I need a gun. I need a gun to defend myself and defend us and defend our family and defend our toilet paper. And I have to wait 3 days
Hmm.
or more because I'm sure it was probably more. Put my alcohol down. So, or not that I'm drinking. This is Coke. Um, but yeah, so I think the point that I'm trying to make is that in some very few instances, I think a waiting period is a good thing. Most it's not,
Okay.
and that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
But I think
It
that,
is 43 minutes.
anyways, um, I think in a lot of situations, like, again, she should pre-plan that into her plan. Like, if I lived here and I was in that situation and I needed an out and I was worried about my safety, which obviously in your scenario I would be, I would pre-plan and I would apply before, like, whenever, because I mean, it's not like you can just up and leave. You have to like make a plan and whatever. And so in that plan, I would plan ahead that I need 3 days to acquire this, gun to protect myself with, because I have unfortunately been in the situation of needing to get a PFA against someone, and I know what that's like, and it sucks. And it's a piece of paper. Like, the person can violate the PFA, and yeah, they'll, get in more trouble and, go to jail or whatever it may be, but that doesn't save your life if that's truly, what the outcome is going to be from that run-in. So, and I can tell you, like, the person that I had my PFA against violated our PFA multiple times, and I didn't turn them in because, I mean, in those situations, like, you do what you think at the time. So I didn't turn that person in and whatever. But again, it was a piece of paper. Nothing stopped him from violating that. I would have had to turn him in and, go that route. So, and had he been more malevolent in our run-ins when he violated, that piece of paper wouldn't have saved me. So I think that, that's one of the things. And I think that's why there's like, the shelters that are in place, at least that I'm aware of, are address unknown, because they don't make it public knowledge where they're putting these women for a reason. So that if you have someone like that who is going to violate a PFA and all the things, that they can't find the address of where, the women's shelter is, to hunt them down and all the things. So I think there are a lot of factors that go into that.
So, everyone, get your guns now.
Prior proper planning prevents poor performance.
Get your guns now.
We didn't even get to switch to our second topic.
We got 8 minutes.
Well, that's not enough time.
Celebrities? Wasn't that it?
Well, it was the whole like fake relationships, because we were going to talk about the whole blow up of the Miley Cyrus.
I mean, we can like leave a little bit and then continue it on with the next one, but
I don't know that that'll happen, but sure.
Well, I mean, I could condense my part of the whole thing.
Okay, you say what your part is.
Celebrities are monsters.
Oh, that.
Yeah, they are.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, I have a bad memory, so I don't really remember when we had our whole conversation that you were like, "Oh, we should make this a podcast." I don't remember exactly what all we were saying to like recreate it here.
So
I just know that it was like I brought up the topic and I was like, I don't understand. So like I remember the beginning because I was like, I don't understand, I'm not in their relationship and I don't know either of them personally. So I'm not going to pretend like I know all the details or any of that kind of thing.
Right.
But what I'm reading in, the tabloids, so to speak, was just that like he disapproved of a lot of the facets of who she was as a person. And so I was saying to you, like, I don't understand why people disregard things like that and get married. Like, if and I mean, everybody, I guess, to some degree or another does it. There are red flags, and love is blind, so you disregard the red flags and you move forward. Like, I know that's happened to me, so like I've done that and like overlooked things that I shouldn't have, and gotten myself into predicaments that obviously came to bite me in the ass, kind of thing. So I know it happens. I was just stating that like some relationships I don't understand. And then we were talking about how like sometimes people stay married for various reasons, and a lot of times love isn't a part of it. It's more of like a business deal.
Well, I mean more specifically with celebrities, yeah.
I think that happens all the time in daily life.
I mean, I think
You have this like strange celebrities or like unique creatures and like horrible monsters and
they are.
whatever. And I disagree.
I don't think they're unique in terms of we're all humans. Like we
Right,
all
but I
share
think that
certain things, but celebrities. Here's the thing: is that celebrities and more specifically career celebrities, right? Like when you look at great example, Miley Cyrus.
Mhm.
Miley Cyrus is a career celebrity. She has never known a life where she overdrafted her checking account. Never. Probably doesn't even know what that is, right? What percentage of Americans do you think have overdrafted their checking accounts at least once in their life?
Okay, but I understand, like, that there are certain facets of life that are different between her and me. However, I still know, like, there was one time, and I mean, again, I don't know the validity of anything because I don't know her, but like, I had read an article where, like, when she was younger, that she was like panhandling because, like, she wasn't old enough to have like her access to her own money, or for whatever reason, she didn't have her own money or whatever. So she was like panhandling so that she could get like a Starbucks drink.
That sounds like a lie.
Sure, maybe, but like,
That doesn't.
she was like play like not like true pan like she was playing like I want to
So
say
let
maybe like
me
guitar or something
let
to get
me.
tips so that she could go buy her like Starbucks.
Yeah, I'm sure Miley Cyrus is a very strong and independent artist. I have nothing against Miley Cyrus. I like Miley Cyrus, but her father is Billy Ray Cyrus, who wrote one of
So,
the most popular and worst country songs of all time.
okay.
Like her panhandling to get a Starbucks drink is a nice byline on a TMZ article, but in actuality, it really was just her probably being like, "Fuck the system. I'm gonna," which is fine. But she could at any moment turn around and go home and go to the mansion.
Oh, for
Like,
sure. I wasn't like
so that
suggesting
doesn't
that she didn't
count.
have
That doesn't
ulterior
count.
options. I'm just saying like that okay,
It's
that's not
fake.
even part of the
It's
topic.
fake. It's fake.
Okay.
It's fake adversity. Fake
Sure.
adversity. That's what that
Sure.
is.
Sure. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't have her own adversity. Like money does not
I
alleviate
didn't say
all
that.
adversity. So
I
like
didn't say that.
she has
She
her
has
own,
plenty of adversities. I would never
right?
say there are things that
And there are things that
celebrity.
she'll experience that we would never have to worry about because it's out of our
There are
realm of
things that
experience.
celebrity whether you want to look at it from a monetary standpoint or a celebrity standpoint, there are things that cross all people. Things like love, relationships, family. These are all things that I mean can be controlled by money in some ways, but we all share similar experiences. My point was with celebrities. And again, I have nothing against Miley Cyrus. And if she was wronged and cheated on and something happened between her and not Thor, then I think that's terrible because I think everybody, even celebrities, I think deserve love. But the thing is that when you are born into this world,
Mhm.
it's the same thing with like if you look at oil tycoons
But that
or
wasn't
career politicians when
that
you're
wasn't our original.
no, our original conversation was that
A lot of marriages have ulterior motives
ulterior
beside
yes,
love.
ulterior motives and celebrities it, when I look at a celebrity relationship and I brought up something like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, right?
Mhm.
I like Ryan Reynolds. I think he's a decent actor. I think he's good in movies. I think Blake Lively's a wonderful actress. And I think their marriage together is a very healthy uh, perspective on a celebrity marriage. Do I think they're going to last forever? No. They've been married for like, I don't know, like 10 years maybe. I don't know how long. They've got a couple kids together. Like in celebrity world, they've been together a lifetime. Like they've far surpassed the average of a celebrity wedding or couple because celebrities are all transactional. Like it's all what can you do for me and what I can do for you and what we can do for each other in terms of our celebrity. Oh wait, I forgot one. One that at the time I was like this will never last and they're still married. What's his face? Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Hmm.
So when they got married, I think Michael Douglas is like maybe 15, 20 years older than her.
Mhm.
And I was like, this shit's never gonna last. Never in a million years. It's Catherine Zeta-Jones. At the time, she was one of the hottest stars. She's beautiful. I was like, this is just a clear-cut celebrity cash grab. Still married. They're both still making movies. She stuck by his side through throat cancer and stuff, like crazy. I was like, all right, that is probably one of the best, like, uh, uh, the best situations of like a celebrity marriage I've ever known,
Mhm.
and it's amazing. But most, it's all transactional. Then your point was normal people are very transactional. I don't disagree, but it's at such a smaller scale.
Well, I think the same we said the same thing. So, like, the headlines are that, like, not Thor cheated on her with, like, 14 people and whatever. So, it's, all it's, like, splattered all over and, like, whatever. The average Joe, cheats on his wife, and maybe it's with a couple people, maybe it's with one person, like, it's not to the same scale. Maybe it is, I don't know, but it doesn't get the same,
Do you
attention.
do you know what? Sorry, I've had a few cokes, so my statistic might be off. We'll look it up later. But do you know what the average number of sexual partners is for a male under 35 is?
I have no idea. I just know they say whatever number a guy gives you, you should divide that by 3 because they always embellish to
Yes,
make themselves
that
look
is true.
bigger.
Um,
But I don't know the statistic.
8.
Okay.
And do you know what a woman's is?
24.
No,
I don't know. I was like, I was just,
4.
oh, okay.
So if he cheated on her with 14 people, that's what I'm trying to point out is like most people, the average under 35, and they both fall in that category. I think Miley's 30.
I have no
I don't
idea.
know how old non-Thor is, but he'd have to be around the same age, I'd assume. Like the average 4, like, and 8, that's bananas.
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. That's where the disparity is. So like celebrities, I think the reason why it's such a not transactional, but it has such a short lifespan is because it within their pool and circle of celebrity and outside, realistically, they could non-Thor could fucking date whoever he wants.
I don't I
Someone
don't
like
know how I
someone
feel
like
about that
me, not
number.
not me in general, but not me specifically, but someone like me who wasn't married and like was single, uh, options are like so much less.
I disagree with those numbers.
8 and
Like,
4?
yeah.
All right.
I'm just saying, like, okay, so I just said they say, like, divide a guy's number by 3 because guys always embellish and whatever.
No,
But, like,
this isn't like
no, no, no,
some
no.
guy, some survey.
Well, then how do they know?
You're right. I guess in that instance it would have to be a survey, but I don't know if they accounted for, well, this guy could be lying. Like I don't know the science behind the study. I don't. I just know
Right.
the percentages and things.
Okay, so I'm just gonna say that I always find information like that, like, wildly surprising because my perception is very different from that. Like,
Well, that's because you talk to a lot of man whores.
maybe.
Yeah, you've just spent too much time around man whores
Sure.
and not enough time around the everyday man.
I guess. In the comments, let us know. No, I'm kidding.
Let us know what?
If you agree with those numbers.
8 and 4?
Yeah.
I agree with those numbers.
Really?
Oh, no. I don't agree with those numbers for me. I'm just saying when you look at the average person, okay? The average person in this country is serving you fries at McDonald's. And have you seen some of these fucking people in this country? Like, let's be
That's
fucking
so
real.
mean.
It's not mean. Sorry. Have you seen some of these people? Like, they're lucky they're touching their own dicks. Like,
Just like
you think this
4? I could have sex with 4 people tomorrow. Not, I wouldn't, but I'm just saying I could. I could. I wouldn't, but I could. Like, who couldn't have sex with 4 people tomorrow? That's a girl. I'm just saying, most guys will sleep with, like, pretty much anybody that says they're down. So, like, I feel like if a girl wanted to have sex multiple times in one day, she could.
I think we're out of time.
No, but, like, you don't think that 4 is, like, low?
I literally thought you were just gonna ask me. You don't think I can fuck 4 people tomorrow?
No, I would not ask you that question. You don't think that 4 is low? You don't think that 4 is low for a girl?
We're talking average. Okay? So we're talking think of how many women under 35 who've never had sex, which is a good portion, right?
Never?
Never. You think I think you have this weird skewed vision of people in this country
I guess I do.
and what they are and what they offer and what they look like and what they do, because I would say how many okay, let me ask you this. This will gauge
Oh God,
how
I'm
many
afraid.
if you and you said you don't do this earlier, but I want you to try.
I don't do what?
If we could have a scale of 1 to 10 of
God.
attractiveness, how many women in this country do you think percentage-wise would be above a 5?
I don't know because like I would need like you know how like
Obviously, this is a lot of it's subjective,
yeah, but
right?
like
There's a
I would
lot of
need like
subjectiveness to
guidelines.
this.
Like I would need like an example, like a sample, like this is what a 0 looks like, this is what a 5 looks like, and this is what a 10 looks like. And then I could
Okay. What
appropriately
do you
lay
think
people.
you are on a scale of
I
1 to
don't know.
10?
I don't know. I don't
You
know.
have to.
I do not.
You have to
I do
put
not.
yourself in a 1 to 10.
I have no idea.
You wouldn't know.
I have no idea.
In the comments.
Please don't.
Just kidding. Don't do that.
That would hurt my
I'll delete
feelings.
the comments.
That would hurt my feelings. I don't.
There
want to
was
hear.
okay. I'll give you some a little bit of reference.
Okay.
There was an app a long time ago. Like we're talking.
Is this like the one where Facebook came from?
This
Have you ever
was
seen like the movie Social Media? Okay, no, okay. The Hot or Not? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
close. It was like a hot or not. And I don't remember what the name of the app was, but they pulled it off the App Store probably within a year, I think, of it being out. But and this was a while ago. I want to say 7-ish years, maybe. You could upload a photo, and people could rate you.
Okay.
But oh, no, wait. I don't know how it worked, but it's not that they I don't know. I don't know if they had to prove that they knew you. Like random, all I could say is random people. Somehow, random people couldn't rate you. It had to be people that were tied in that you knew, or that it might have been tied into Facebook at the time. I don't know. Point is,
Mm-hmm.
I was a 6.7.
Okay.
Okay, me. Not me now. The me that you've seen in pictures.
What are you trying to say, husband? That I married an uglier version of you?
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I'm a 6.7 at the height of my attractiveness. Society would put me at a 6.7.
Okay.
Okay. How many people do you think are like what percentage?
Well, that's awkward because if that was all people that know you, like, I feel like that's a skewed sample. Because they have like personal reasons that they feel that way about you.
Maybe. All I'm saying is I was let's take that app out of it. I'm a 6.7.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So like a 5. Like how many do you think? How many people?
Yeah, but okay, but you can't.
How many
So
people do
here's
you
the other
think
thing
are
is,
as attractive as us?
but here's the thing
Like
is,
we're probably in the
guys,
top 2% of attractive people in this country.
guys are notably able to get women that are more attractive than them. That's like a thing.
Yeah, if you got
Is that
big dick and money, sure.
one or the other? Like,
But it
doesn't
ain't
have to be
based on
both.
looks. I'm saying looks.
But like, no, but I'm just saying, so like people, that's why I was saying like your thing is skewed because if people like personally know you, they're gonna skew
You knew about
your
my dick?
whoa. Not necessarily. Like
people knew you personally. You'd get bigger. You'd get higher than a 6.7. What?
it's not what I meant. Anyways, so
We're running over.
take that out. Take that out. Anyways, what I was trying to say is like I can't gauge women based off of your example of your score. But anyways, so I don't know. My answer remains I don't know. Like
Well, let me
so
answer for you.
what are you
The
answering for
majority
me?
of this country is fucking ugly, and they're but on the outside and the inside. And I would venture to say, I'm not going to say that you and I are supermodels. We know that, right?
Well, now you've burst my bubble.
Please, we're not supermodels. You're a supermodel to me, okay? But we're not supermodels.
I was planning a breakout career in modeling after
No,
this.
you weren't.
I was.
Okay.
Print ads. I'm not tall enough to be like a runway model, but I could do print.
Point is that we are no supermodels, okay? But those type of people who are carved out of marble and eat one Cheerio a day, those people are the top point whatever percent of the population.
Mhm.
The rest of us probably fall between 6, 7, 8, right? I would say that section makes up, I don't know, maybe 10% of the population. And then everybody 5 and under, that's your 80, not your 80. That's your, 89% of the population.
Okay, so to be fair,
So to say that part
Okay.
part of the population only fucks 4 people in their life before
So-
35 starts to make sense.
So we already had this conversation where like I told you, I'm like nobody ever says that I'm pretty or like whatever. Like and you because when you had your whole little
Nobody
like
says I'm pretty. People
Right.
say you're pretty all the time.
no, they do not.
Nobody says I'm
No,
pretty.
we had this whole thing about nobody compliments you, nobody whatever.
Nobody compliments men.
But I was saying
because
Oh,
nobody
right.
wants to compliment men anymore. Okay? Folks, let's bring back complimenting men. Okay? I get it. Women need compliments too, right? It's a pretty dress you're wearing. It's a pretty ring you're wearing. Those are pretty nails you've got there. Love your hair. Love your lipstick. Oh my God. Love your tattoos. These are all things people say to my wife all the time. What do I get? Nobody says shit to me. Nothing.
Can I
Because people
finish?
don't compliment men. Bring it back. Tell everybody, if anybody listens to this, if you see a guy who's got on a nice jacket, hey man, I like your jacket. You will make that dude's day. you see a guy at the grocery store or in line at the gas station. He's wearing a nice pair of kicks. You'd be like, "Hey man, I dig your fucking shoes, dude. Like those are nice shoes."
You really want me to start
Do
complimenting
do you
random men? Because
do
that's
you
just gonna
not you,
that's just
but again,
evoke the
but you
problem.
know what? If you saw a guy that had a really nice jacket on or a really nice pair of shoes, I wouldn't feel I wouldn't get jealous if you complimented some guy's shoes or jacket.
Okay.
Like I think that is a nice, you know how people say that bullshit like, like smile and you never know whose day you might make and all that. There is some truth to that because I told you, the highest compliment I've had in recent memory was when a black lady at the gas station said I was wearing a fucking sweet. She said like that jacket's tight. I was like, oh, thank you. It was my brand new the black jacket that has the button.
I
You
know.
know the jacket,
Which
right?
one? Yeah.
And I that compliment made my day. When a black person compliments your
It's still making
fashion,
your day.
it is. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it because it made such an impression on me because I felt really good.
Can I finish what I was trying to
Okay, go
say
ahead.
before you went
We got a couple minutes left.
on your whole tangent about men again? What
I'm
I
not
was
going on a tangent about men. I'm just trying to raise awareness that men deserve compliments too. That's it. That's all. Women deserve compliments. I'm not trying to take your compliments away from you, but men deserve compliments. Some men, I'm not all men, but like I think if you would if you're the type of person that compliment a woman's shoes, be the type of person that compliments a man's shoes. Equality.
Okay. So what I was trying to say was that we had just had this conversation like not too long ago where I said that like I have friends that will post a picture of themselves on Facebook and like every comment underneath of it is how beautiful and good that person looks in the picture. And I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that never happens to me. And then we had the whole discussion
That's
that
because you're
like
not fishing for it.
people, well, maybe, but also like we had the conversation that like people don't tell people like attractive people supposedly that they're pretty
Yes.
because they feel like they already
They
know or
already
they
know.
already hear it or
Yes.
whatever. And so I was telling you, like in my whole life, like my mom wasn't one to lay on compliments by any means. So like I'd never heard that I was pretty or any word that's associated with pretty, beautiful, gorgeous, whatever you want to call it. Like I didn't hear that my entire life. Like you're the only person that tells me that. So, like, I don't hear things like that. So, like, again, that's what makes it hard for me to judge my own attractiveness because I have no idea because nobody's ever told me that I am.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So, like,
we've had that
right.
that's the same thing with me. Most
So,
you've told me I'm handsome more than I've ever heard it for the first 30 something years of my life.
right. So, like, so that being said, that's why I'm saying, like, I see what you're saying. And yet we also had the conversation about, like, my one friend that I don't think is very attractive. However, when like her and I would always go
Oh yeah, the
places
slum
together,
pig. Yeah.
yeah, like she would always get
But
hit on
that's
and whatever.
different.
And you were saying that that's because people could sense that she was
You could
easy,
sense that she's a slum pig.
and then subsequently like it, but it made me think
That's
that
why men
like
cheat.
that. What do you mean?
I think that's why a lot of men cheat.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean.
I think a lot of men cheat because well, I'm not okay, I shouldn't say why. Usually, a lot of men when they cheat
Mhm.
and you see the person that they cheated with, it's usually a slum pig
Okay.
compared to the person that they're with. And
Okay.
that's part of the equation of the cheating. Because men who cheat aren't if they wanted to put forth the effort and the challenge and the difficulties of maintaining and keeping the relationship and doing what they needed in their relationship to fix it,
Mhm.
then they wouldn't cheat, right?
Mhm.
So, in the same token, they're not going to try go out and bang a supermodel. Their effort level has already been established with how they're handling their relationship. So clearly, if they're going to cheat, they're going to do it with a slum pig because it's easy, no thought, no effort. Like the same amount of effort I'm putting into my relationship is the same amount of effort I'm going to put into cheating on my significant other. And that is why it's reflective, and those two correlate with that.
Sure.
Go on.
No, that was all I was gonna say, was that, like, some of those things, like, don't add up in my brain, so that, like, it makes sense, like, you saying, like, when you lay it all out there like that, like, I see, people like that who get hit on all the time, but then I also understand what you're saying, that, like, there are people who are, even less attractive and whatever. So it's an average number. So, I'm
Right.
sure there are some that have, 20, and then there's a bunch that have 0, and so it averages out to 4 and 8.
Correct.
So,
That's exactly the point.
yes.
Like when you see like someone like me walking down the street and you're like 4, no.
Well, I thought guys were 8.
Well, I'm just saying from a female perspective, whatever. Like
Mm.
someone in the realm of between a 6 and a 7, because I'm 6.7. You see that and you're like, there's no way that person's only slept with whatever 8 people if it's a guy, or 4. But again, probably not. That guy or girl has probably slept with 100 people, but then for every one of those, there's 100 people that have slept with one person, and that's it. I still know to this day. I have people that I'm friends with that are my age, a little bit younger, that haven't slept with anybody. So they
Nobody?
0. It exists. There are people.
Are they hideous?
Yeah. No. No. And then there are some people who are on like 2, who are, you know, not hideous, but average looking. So
Yeah.
that's why the average is the way it is. But again,
I think that's weird.
we don't have to worry about that. We're at time
What do you mean we don't have to worry about that?
because we're married.
Oh.
We don't have to worry about that. Like you can go fuck 4 people tomorrow if you want to do.
I mean, I could, but I wouldn't.
Cool. Well, that's been the podcast, everybody.
Well, you want me to lie?
No. Okay.
I couldn't.
This
I
is
couldn't. It's not a possibility.
Yep.
It would, even if I wanted to, I couldn't.
All right. Well, it's two T's in the pod. I'm Tony,
And I'm Tralana.
and we'll get back to you next week. Okay. Bye.
Bye.